Good morning, students. Today, we are going to take up the paper 5, Strategic Cost Management and Performance Evaluation. This particular subject will be taken over by our faculty, CA Deepak Gupta. And students, today we our Central Council member, CA Hansra Chugji, and he is a very versatile person, and he's having the and he's also the chairman of the Career Counseling Committee and many more other committees. And he's involved. He's actually very passionate about what all is affecting the students. So, sir, over to you.
Thank you, Vandana madam, and thank you, Deepak ji, also taking the initiative. And I really appreciate the leadership at the Board of Study, headed by our friend from the Hyderabad, Dayanivas Sharma ji, and co-chaired by Vishal Doshi ji, have taken initiative, and the office has well supported to this initiative, to reaching out to the students and ultimately taking out their pain points. You see, like the subject strategic cost management and performance evaluation is high importance for the better things to be given to the corporate words, whether it is the public sector undertaking or the private sector undertaking, or otherwise we just can understand the from the nomenclature itself what all the strategy required for the cost management. Earlier there used to be a saying, you have to increase the sale price. Now matching with the competition, the things has taken a shape otherwise. Rather than increasing the sale price, you have to, as with your own best efforts, or optimally, you have to reduce the cost also or manage the cost also. Whether it is the cost of the first level direct cost or the indirect cost, whether it is the overheads or the finance cost or otherwise, so many costs involved. The performance can be evaluated from a professional, by a professional, in the manner I have really been, I can share with each one of you my own practical exposure also, where we got so many cost has been cut down once the assignment is been given to us, and resulting into the increase in the profitability. Those are the parameters by which our students has to understand. And naturally, with the going forward, Deepak ji will be talking to you or sharing with you subject related things wherever you face any challenges, and we at the Board of Studies always in support of the each and every students has a liberty to reach out to the our faculties, those who are sitting in the Board of Study, so that we can optimally points they have with that can be taken care of by us at the Board of Study level. With these words, I welcome each and every students, and I really appreciate the efforts of the Board of Study for these good efforts, and hope these efforts will ultimately bringing out best of the results in the and the confidence in the students' mind, so that when they write the exam, they're fully prepared, they understand it, the subject related issues and the overall exam related issues also. Actually, from the examination front, I can only share with you each and every second and each moment matters while you are writing the exam. Sometimes lengthy paper like this also, somehow waste of the time in between will naturally go against you, which will be adversely affecting you. So minimum time to be wasted, time to be taken forward in a manner so that ultimately goal of your success to be achieved with. So with these words, I welcome you all and appreciate the efforts of the Board of Study. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, thanks a lot, sir. The practical tips, sir, what you have given it to the students as to what is the role of a chartered accountant. It is just not that they are into auditing, accounting and all these. They are much more above that. They are the ones who are the decision makers. And this is what exactly, sir, you have told the students that how they need to make the decision. It is the key area of the chartered accountants. So, sir, thanks a lot for sparing your time and guiding the students, sir. And we look forward to your support in future as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now, students, our Central Council member, C.A. Hansraj Chuk, had been with us, and he has given you the tips as to what is the strategy you need to follow for this very particular crucial paper. So, students, what are now we going to do is just give us this 1 minute break. We are going to change the platform. Then we are going to start the session with C.A. Deepak Gupta, and I'll also be joining him for this particular session. So just give us a break of 1 minute. Thank you. Welcome again, students. We are going to start the first session for this very crucial paper, Strategic Costing and Performance Evaluation. And along with us is my BoS faculty, C.A. Deepak Gupta. He'll be taking you through this particular paper. But initially, I'm going to start it. Then I'll hand over to Deepak Gupta, and he will explain you the nitty-gritties of this particular paper. So, students, you very well understand. So students, yes. So students, as the name suggests, strategic cost management and performance evaluation, it's a mix of three particular areas, right? So students, the first particular area is that it rather includes the strategic aspects, rather the strategic aspect of the management accounting. So the first core area of strategic cost management and performance evaluation is the strategic aspect of management accounting. But it also includes, as the name suggests, it also includes performance management as well as behavioral management accounting, right? So this particular paper highlights on the strategic side, performance side, and the behavioral side of the management, right? So, and it is also focusing on the customer's supplier internal process effectiveness. So it's a mix of all these aspects which you really will understand as you would have gone through the particular paper. And students, this particular paper rather highlights the role of chartered accountant in the top management position, that is the CEO, the chief executive officer of the company. So It's very different from the role of Chief Financial Officer. So this particular aspect, this particular subject takes into account the role of chartered accountant. When you will become the chartered accountant, what role you can also have, that is the business solution provider. So this is what this paper helps you in becoming the business solution provider. It is telling you the techniques, which are the techniques which you need to adopt to take the decision, right? So you have to know about three things in this. You need to know what is the strategic side. You need to know the performance. You need to also know the behavioral side, because when you run a company, you need to take into account all these three aspects. Where is the role of CFO? What is it actually into? The CFO has the company's top financial position, right? So the financial management of the company is the key role of CFO. Whereas the role of CEO is the overall organizational plan and the processes which it has to carry is the role of the CEO, right? So now we move to the next part. For starting with this particular subject, students, you need to know what is strategic management. You need to know about cost and management accounting. If you know these two subjects, which you have already studied in your intermediate, you will be able to go to the next level, because now you know the cost and management accounting, also how costing is done by various companies, by various industries. And strategic management, you have studied what are the policies which has to be adopted by a managerial person, that is the CEO of the company. So they know what is the costing and how it has to be managed, and how the strategic management also has to take care of the nitty-gritties of the management. So this particular paper, for this particular paper, you should have a thorough understanding of cost and management accounting and strategic management. And now students, I come to the section-wise weightage, which is very important, and thereafter I'll touch upon the skill-wise weightage also. So students, in this particular part A, that is the strategic cost management and decision making, this particular part is having the weightage of 35% to 40%, right? And it is having two topics, strategic cost management and strategic decision making. So strategic cost management is having a maximum weightage up to 25%, and strategic decision making is having the maximum weightage of 15%. So students, plan your study accordingly and then move. Now I come to the section B, that is performance evaluation and control. Again, it is having a weightage of 35% to 40%. It has two topics broadly, performance evaluation and reporting, which is having the weightage of 25%, and managerial control, which has a weightage of 15%. Then I come to the case study. The case study is having the weightage of 20% to 30%. So students, you must understand this particular paper is putting a lot of emphasis on case study also. So what you have studied in section 1, section A and section B, the case studies are prepared based on these two particular areas, and then your skills, your practical skills as to how to solve the problem, and then how you will be, based on this, the answer, what all solution you have got, you have to play a key role in giving the, forming the decision. That is going to be covered in this case study itself. So really you have to be, you'll become a person after you study this paper. You'll know how to practically solve the issues and how to take decisions also. So this is a very important subject, students. You rather need to go through the case studies in detail and the different techniques which are being taught in the strategic cost management and performance evaluation. These particular techniques, processes you should know, so that you are ultimately able to take care of the decision part. So that's a very important part, and it will really make you a very strong business solution provider in the future. When you will really become a chartered accountant, your role is going to be very varied. It is not going to be restricted to accounting, auditing, taxation, costing, but it is going to be much more than that. So you are going to be the actual business solution provider. You will be rather taking the key responsibility of the management, not from the financial side, but also from the decision making side. So you are the ones who are going to take decisions for the companies, because you can hold the biggest role, that is of CEO. And for this particular paper will help you as to what all you have assimilated earlier in other papers, how to put it into practice. Then I come to the skill wise assessment. So students, at this level, you need to know that there are three levels of assessment, skill assessment. The level 1 is the knowledge and comprehension, which is having a weightage of 10% to 15%. Level 2 is talking about application and analysis. It is having a weightage of 45% to 55%. Then comes the level 3, that is evaluation and synthesis skills. Very important. That is what you are going to use when you will be taking the decision. Your evaluative and synthesis skills is very important, and it is going to have a weightage of 35% to 40%. So students, you need to know the skill wise weightage, you need to know the section wise weightage, and students, Deepak will be taking you through all the nitty gritties, and he'll explain you as to at level 1 what all verbs are used. Like, for example, level 1 talks about list, state, define, describe, distinguish, explain, identify and illustrate. So he'll tell you what all these verbs are, and what these verbs, when such type of verbs are used in the exam question paper, how you really need to respond to it in your answer. So you should understand, if such type of verbs are there in the question, your knowledge and comprehensive skills are tested. So you have to respond accordingly. He'll talk you about the details, and he'll take you through to the entire paper. But there are two more things which I would like to tell you is, students, enjoy this paper. Enjoy any paper you are studying. If you will enjoy, you will really do well. Because something I enjoy, I always tend to perform very well. Even if that subject may be very difficult for me, but I'll put in extra efforts. So students, if you are finding any problems in any of the papers, you can always send your queries to us in our Ask Your Queries section in the BoS mobile app. And this mobile app, the Android version, you can always download this particular app from the Google Play Store, and you can also, for the iPhones, you can also download it from the Apple Store. So download this app whenever you are having your queries. Today's session, Deepak will be taking care of all your queries, but afterwards also, if you get stuck up anywhere, what you can do is always post your query in that particular subject, and Deepak and other faculty are very ready. They are readily going to respond to it. And students, I must also tell you, as of now, we have already responded. From the time we have come up with this particular Ask Your Query, we have already solved 15,000 queries of the students in different subjects. So students, our faculty, BoS, is there for you. They are going to help you at each and every stage of your preparation. So be there with us. We have come to you. We are here to solve your problems and make your journey till the exam time very, very smooth. Right? So students, after this sessions are going to get over on 26th of September. Our mock test series paper 1 is going to start from 27th of September, and thereafter the mock test paper series 2 is going to start in the first week of, it is going to start from the rather second week of October. Kindly contact your branches so that you can go over there and give the paper in the exam time. If in any case you are not able to go to the branches, you can download the paper from the BOS Knowledge Portal before 15 minutes of start of the exam. Read, take that, make use of 1:45 to 2 p.m. time for going through the paper, and from 2 to 5 attempt the paper, and within 48 hours we are uploading the answers also. So what paper you have solved, check from the answers which we have uploaded, see where you have gone wrong, which step you have missed, so that in the exam you will not face any of the problem. So students, keep doing practice, keep working on it. Practice makes a man perfect. Enjoy your paper. Enjoy this time of your preparation. Make full use of this time. Don't take any stress. Don't be bogged down by what others are doing. Concentrate on what you are doing. Don't share your plans with others. And don't listen to others' plans also, because every human being is a unique person. Each person has its own plan. So whichever plan is more suitable for you, you know your own self very well. Plan your studies accordingly and work hard for it. Now I'll be requesting the our faculty CA Deepak Gupta to take over, and all the best Deepak, and all the best to all of you. Listen to him and make yourself acclimatize with the paper, the nitty-gritties of the paper. Thank you, students.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable inputs. Now, students, I will tell you about a skill assessment grid. There are three levels: level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 1 is knowledge and comprehension, level 2 is application and analysis, and level 3 is evaluation. In level 1, you have to focus on your memorization skills. Here we have covered verbs like list, state, identify, define. Actually, here you have to use your memory skills, and means simply learn and write. In level 2 actually depends upon calculation and analysis, where you have to link calculated figures and give conclusion based on figures. In level 3 is based on non-financial consideration or qualitative factors based on decision made in level 1 and level 2. Now I will let you know about each verb in very detailed manner. List. Here you have to simply give a list. List means how many. Just give a list. Each of the points on list should be stated in terms of full sentence. Suppose a question requires you to list important factors affecting just in time, then you have to simply list down all factors one by one. State. What is state? State means no need to explain. No need to explain in detail, but just convey a brief meaning. Define. Define is simply definition. This is simply testing of memory. Describe. Describe means what it is. Then this is next step of list, state, and define. Next, distinguish. This is to recognize the difference between two items. Explain. Explain means to make something more clearer and to give good understanding by describing or giving the information. Identify means recognize or establish selection after proper consideration. Illustrate means to simply give examples. In level 2, we cover verb like tabulate, solve, reconcile, prepare, calculate, apply. Apply is simply applying the facts, rules, concepts, and ideas. This is not simply talking about theories. It is here you have to apply the basic concepts, basic formula in your decision making area. Calculate is simply calculation. Demonstrate. Here you need to show something which is correct by giving proof. Prepare is used where there is a fair amount of numerical data given in the question. It means when you have particular line items like direct material cost, labor cost, variable overhead, etc., then you have to prepare a statement. For example, prepare a statement of customer profitability analysis. Reconcile is just simply reconciliation between budget profit and actual profit. You have to reconcile two figures. Solve is simply calculation. Tabulate relates to you have to arrange items in a tabular form. Analysis taking apart information or data to discover relationship, cause, patterns. Analysis, as I have already told you, analysis is basically depends upon linking of figures. Here you have to link, you have to link, and then you have to find the relationships, causes, and patterns and connections. This term is very useful in standard costing, where you have to analyze the particular variance, the reason behind adverse or favorable variances. Categorize is similar to tabulate. In categorize, you have to put things into groups or into table. Compare and contrast. In compare and contrast, it is you have to give similarities and differences. Construct is like prepare, but here you have to further go ahead, and you have to give proper reasoning as why you put things. Discuss means always argument. Whenever a question says to discuss, suppose discuss transfer pricing method, then you have to give proper argument means you have to add some points in favor and some points in against. It is not necessary to give a list of 5 points or 6 points, but it is necessary to give one or two contradictory sentences in your discussion. Again, I am saying this is very important verb. In discuss, you have to give contradictory view. Now, interpret. Interpret is translation of one form of words to another. It means to make something more clearer based on the calculation you have done previously. Often it is next stage of analysis. In first stage you have to do calculation, then after calculation you have to do analysis by linking figures. After analysis you have to give results based on the figures analyzed, and this is interpretation. Therefore, in level 2, where weightage is up to 55%, it means if a question paper is having 120 marks and up to 66 marks question can be asked from this part or this section. But this section not only cover calculations but also covers analysis and interpretation. Next, produce. Produce means just like preparation, begin with little or nothing to make something. It means just to prepare something. And prioritize is to decide which of a group or things are most important. It means you have to give ranking. Okay. Level 3 where weightage is up to 45%, and if a question paper is having 120 marks, then up to 42 marks question can be asked from this portion, and it covers very three important verbs like advise, evaluate and recommend. Advice requires to build up a good comprehensive argument that leads to one or more choices, but these choices are depends upon non-financial considerations. Here I want to give you one example. Sometimes question asks you to advise on implementation on just-in-time system. Okay, where you have given traditional data as per traditional costing system, which is push system, and just in time system. And if you are having financial benefits, suppose up to 10 millions in just in time, if you are having on calculation you find benefits up to 10 millions while you are going to implement just in time, in that case how would you advise? Simply on the base of financial considerations, it is okay to go ahead with just in time, but here you have to consider non-financial considerations also, like your relations with supplier, your versatility of your labor, your production layout, plants layout, your IT systems, electronic data interchange system. If you don't have these factors, whether benefit of 10 millions, 1 billion, so many, anything, any figure, any big figure, this will go in waste. You must have good relations with your supplier. You have to write in your exam, since verb is advice, therefore you have to consider non-financial factors also, your relations with supplier, your IT background, your company's IT background, your factory labor, factory layout. You have to consider this, otherwise decision making will be wrong and you will not get more than 4 marks out of 10 in this type of question if you don't write proper advice. Okay, now evaluate again means balance statement both. Here you have to write not only positives but also negatives, and after that you have to give conclusion. In examination, suppose you get particular question, suppose evaluate EVA or evaluate balanced scorecard or evaluate any decision making, then you have to give positives and negatives. Simply consider in examination either one will pass or fail. This is evaluation. After this, there should be some conclusion. Again, I am saying if question says you to evaluate, in that case you have to give positives, negatives, after this conclusion. And recommend is very high level verb, and in recommendation there are so many alternatives. You have to evaluate each alternatives and give recommendation based on such evaluation, and you have to give final conclusion based on your financial and non-financial considerations. If there are 4 scenarios or there are 4 possibilities, then you have to evaluate each scenario, and after this you have to give final recommendation. This is skill assessment grid. Now I hope you understand 3 levels. Level 1 based on your memorization skills, level 2 based on calculations and analysis, and level 3 based on your advanced level skill that are based upon qualitative and non-financial factors. स्टूडेंट्स, अभी मैं जो भी मैंने आपको इंग्लिश में एक्सप्लेन किया है उसको थोड़ा सा मैं आपको हिंदी में भी एक्सप्लेन करना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि मेरे पास क्वेरीज आ रही हैं हिंदी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी। तो हमारे पास देखिए, अगर आपको एग्जाम के अंदर सॉल्यूशन लिखना है, तो सबसे पहला जो हमारा मेन यहाँ पर फोकस है, क्वेश्चन की रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है। रिक्वायरमेंट के अंदर आप ध्यान रखिए, उसके अंदर कुछ वर्ब्स होती हैं जिनकी 3 तरीके की कैटेगरी होती है, लेवल 1, लेवल 2 और लेवल 3। लेवल 1 जो कैटेगरी होती है वो आपकी मेमोरी के ऊपर डिपेंड करती हैं, ठीक है। लेवल 1 के अंदर हमें सिंपली जो हमारी वर्ब्स यूज होती हैं वो होती हैं लिस्ट, स्टेट, आइडेंटिफाई, डिफाइन, एक्सप्लेन। ओके, यानी कि आपने यहां पे जो रटा है उसको आपने सिंपली लिख के आना है, ठीक है। यहां पर वेटेज अप टू 15% है। अगर एक क्वेश्चन पेपर 120 मार्क्स का है तो 120 का 15% यानी कि 18 नंबर का यहां पर एग्जाम में आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है, ठीक है। तो डिफाइन, डिफाइन क्या है, सिंपली आप उसको रटो और लिखो, ये है लेवल 1, ओके। लेकिन लेवल टू के अंदर जो हायर लेवल जो वर्ब है यहां पर यूज होती है कैलकुलेशन, एनालिसिस एंड इंटरप्रिटेशन। कैलकुलेशन यू नो ऑलरेडी कि कैलकुलेशन क्या है, कि कंप्यूटेशन ऑफ कॉस्ट। एनालिसिस, एनालिसिस क्या है, एनालिसिस, एनालिसिस के अंदर आपको जो कैलकुलेटिव फिगर्स है ना इनको लिंक करना है, ठीक है। और इंटरप्रिटेशन क्या है, उसके बेस पर आपको कंक्लूजन देना है, ठीक है। अब यहां पे मैं आपको हमेशा एक एग्जांपल स्टूडेंट्स को देता हूं और मैं आपको फिर वही एग्जांपल देना चाहूंगा। यहां पर एक पर्सन है, उसकी वो कई दिनों से उसकी तबीयत सही नहीं थी, वो डॉक्टर के पास एक बार जा रहा है, 2 बार जा रहा है, 3 बार जा रहा है, वो इंप्रूवमेंट नहीं आया उसके अंदर, उसकी तबीयत वो इल है। तो डॉक्टर उसको क्या सजेस्ट करेगा, डॉक्टर कहेगा आप जाइए, आप पहले ये टेस्ट करा के आइए, मैं ये बताऊंगा आपको, उसके बाद बताऊंगा कि इश्यू क्या है। जो डॉक्टर ने वो टेस्ट सजेस्ट किए ना वो आपकी कैलकुलेशंस हैं, आप ये समझिए। जो डॉक्टर्स ने पेशेंट को बोला कि आप जाकर टेस्ट करा के आइए, वो जो टेस्ट हैं वो आपकी कैलकुलेशंस हैं। और वो जब वो पेशेंट वो टेस्ट करा कर आया, उसके बेस पर डॉक्टर ने एनालिसिस किया, ये इतना लेवल बढ़ा हुआ है, ये इतना माइनस है, ये इतना हुआ है, ये पॉजिटिव है। उससे उसको आइडिया हुआ कि उसको प्रॉब्लम क्या हुई है उस पेशेंट को। तो ये आपका एनालिसिस है। एनालिसिस करने के बाद उसने डॉक्टर ने बताया कि कंक्लूजन, कि भाई आपको ये इश्यू हो गया है, अब हम मुझे पता लग गया आपको ये इश्यू हो गया है। तो यानी कि उसने जो टेस्ट करवाए थे उसकी जो फिगर्स थी उनको कोरिलेट कर कर जो एनालिसिस किया, उसके बेस पर आपको इंटरप्रेट करके बताया कि भाई ये प्रॉब्लम है। तो ये आपका हो गया कैलकुलेशन, इंटरप्रिटेशन एंड एनालिसिस। अब बस डॉक्टर ने क्या आपको यहीं पर मतलब अपना डिसीजन बता दिया? नहीं, अब वो इससे बियॉन्ड जाएगा, हायर लेवल पर जाएगा। अब अपनी प्रिस्क्रिप्शन बनाएगा, अब अपनी रिकमेंडेशन देगा। रिकमेंडेशन कैसे देगा, बताएगा, सोचेगा, अब अपने माइंड से सोचेगा। अब माइंड में 3 चीजों से सोचेगा। माइंड में सोचेगा क्या, एक मेमोरी, यानी कि वो बताएगा कि भाई ऐसा है कि आपको ये दवाई खानी है, आपको ये मेडिसिन लेनी है। जो वो मेडिसिन लेनी है, वो जो जो उसके दिमाग में रटा हुआ था ना, जो आपके दिमाग में जो कॉन्सेप्ट रटी हुई है वो लिखनी है यहाँ पे। यानी कि आपको बता दिए ये मेडिसिन खानी है, आपको ये खाना है, ये पीना है, ये एक्सरसाइज करनी है, ये करना है, ये नहीं करना, सनलाइट में जाना है, नहीं जाना, ऐसे करके उसने प्रिस्क्रिप्शन बनाई। यानी कि बाय कंसिडरिंग नॉन फाइनेंशियल फैक्टर अलोंग विद मेमोराइजेशन स्किल्स। मेमोराइजेशन स्किल्स मींस उसने मेडिसिन आपको बताई, कौन सी आपने खानी है, कौन सी खानी है, वो तो जो याद थी वही वही रिकमेंड करेगा ना, ठीक है। साथ में जो अदर फैक्टर्स हो गए, अदर फैक्टर्स जो मैंने आपको एन फैक्टर अभी बताए, तो इस तरीके से रिकमेंड करना है। यानी कि लेवल 3 में क्वालिटेटिव फैक्टर इसी तरीके से जस्ट इन टाइम के अंदर होता है। जस्ट इन टाइम का अगर डिसीजन आपने देना है, सिंपली फाइनेंशियल फैक्टर्स के बेस पर अगर आप आंसर लिख कर आ रहे हो, चाहे आपको उसमें 10 लाख, 1 करोड़, 10 करोड़ कितना भी बेनिफिट हो, लेकिन वो सब बेकार है अगर आपके पास प्रॉपर जस्ट इन टाइम इंप्लीमेंटेशन सिस्टम ही नहीं है, अगर आपके सप्लायर के साथ रिलेशन ही नहीं है, आपके पास इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डाटा इंटरचेंज सिस्टम ही नहीं है, अगर आपकी लेबर वर्सेटाइल ही नहीं है, प्रोडक्शन लेआउट सही नहीं है, तो जस्ट इन टाइम क्लियरली फेल हो जाएगा। तो इसलिए ये फैक्टर्स आपको लिख कर आने पड़ेंगे। अगर ये नहीं लिख के आओगे और सिंपल 1-2 लाइन के अंदर आंसर लिख दोगे, और या फिर वो इसेंशियल्स ऑफ जस्ट इन टाइम या प्रीरिक्विजिट्स ऑफ जस्ट इन टाइम या सिंपली जस्ट इन टाइम की डेफिनेशन लिख दोगे, तो सिर्फ 10 में से 4 नंबर का कैलकुलेशन होगा, 6 नंबर का जो एडवाइस होगा, एडवाइस में तो कुछ मिलेगा नहीं, और 4 नंबर में भी कैलकुलेशन गलत कर दिया तो 2 मिलेगा, तो 10 में से 2 ही मिलेगा, फिर उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला फिर आपको। तो इसलिए मैं फिर से कह रहा हूं कि फोकस वर्ब के ऊपर होना चाहिए। जो वर्ब्स, जो क्वेश्चन की रिक्वायरमेंट है उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपको आंसर ड्राफ्ट करना होगा। अगर आप वैसे आंसर ड्राफ्ट नहीं करेंगे तो फिर वो 10 में से 4 ही आते हैं फिर। तो आप 10 में से 4 का मतलब आप सोच लेंगे कि 100 में से कितने बनेंगे फिर। तो इसलिए हमें ये बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, और इसीलिए मैं इस चीज के ऊपर काफी ज्यादा टाइम ले रहा हूं आपका। ओके, तो इसी तरीके से जो रिकमेंड वर्ब है, रिकमेंड में कई ऑल्टरनेटिव्स होते हैं, और हर एक ऑल्टरनेटिव को इवेल्युएट करके फाइनल कंक्लूजन देना होता है। और इवेल्युएट का मीनिंग होता है कि पॉजिटिव्स देने हैं, नेगेटिव्स देने हैं, और उसका कंक्लूजन देना है। और एडवाइस में कई नॉन फाइनेंशियल फैक्टर्स भी आपको कंसिडर करने हैं। ओके, नाउ जनरल गाइडलाइंस फॉर प्रिपरेशन। I have a query from Saurav Sarkar. Sir, I draw diagram related to any topic in exam like performance pyramid. Performance prism in relation to answer. Can it increase the possibility of marks? Clearly no. If you will get full marks if question says draw diagram. If question says draw diagram of performance pyramid, in that case you will get full marks. If question says advice based on performance pyramid or performance prism, you will not get any marks on drawing the performance pyramid, etc. Now I will discuss with you general guidelines for preparation. Give importance to conceptual theory part. You have to give importance on conceptual theory part. आपको थ्योरी के ऊपर इंपॉर्टेंस देना ही होगा, जो कॉन्सेप्चुअल थ्योरी है। आप अपनी मर्जी से कुछ भी लिखकर नहीं आ सकते एग्जाम के अंदर। बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट आपको पता होना चाहिए, आप वो लिखकर आ सकते हैं। In November 2018 exam, there was a question on target costing. In that particular question, it was required to compute, I think, labor time based on target profit and target sale price. In that case, labor have to reduce its time. To reduce that time, they have been given bonus, etc. In that question, it was required to give some justification on that. To manage reduce labor time, you have to give some justification or to implement that plan, what are the possibilities, how you can implement target costing system, it something this type was required in the question. Naturally, if you force labor to work hard to reduce labor time, in that case they may get demotivated in spite of offering bonus. How you will manage these things? You will manage these things by appointing change manager, or you can also achieve your target profit by using alternative way, by changing your production layout. There may be other ways also. These points have been clearly written in the study material. You have to link this theory with the solution of that particular question. उस क्वेश्चन के अंदर ये दिया हुआ था कि आपको टारगेट कॉस्टिंग का क्वेश्चन था और उस क्वेश्चन के अंदर हमारे को रिड्यूस्ड लेबर आवर्स करके निकालने थे. अगर नेचुरली अगर हम प्रॉफिट इंक्रीज करेंगे तो प्रॉफिट इंक्रीज करने के लिए कॉस्ट रिड्यूस करना होगा, और कॉस्ट रिड्यूस करने के लिए लेबर टाइम को रिड्यूस किया. तो जब लेबर टाइम रिड्यूस करेंगे तो नेचुरली जो लेबर होगी कहीं ना कहीं फ्रस्ट्रेटेड होगी, डिमोटिवेटेड होगी. तो उसको कैसे मैनेज करेंगे, कैसे टारगेट कोस्टिंग का जो इंप्लीमेंटेशन है वो मैनेज होगा. तो उसको मैनेज करने के लिए हमें या तो चेंज मैनेजर अपॉइंट करना होगा या प्रोडक्शन का लेआउट को दोबारा से सोचना होगा कि भाई इसको चेंज कर देते हैं. तो ये पॉइंट्स स्टडी मटेरियल के अंदर भी लिखे हुए हैं. आपको उस पर्टिकुलर एग्जाम के क्वेश्चन के अंदर स्टडी मटेरियल के साथ कोरिलेट करके सॉल्यूशन ड्राफ्ट करना था. अगर आपने नहीं किया, जो आपने कॉन्सेप्ट्स मटेरियल के अंदर पढ़े हैं, तो फिर आप मार्क्स नहीं गेन कर पाएंगे. If you want to gain marks in your exam, then you have to link the solution of the questions with the theory of the study material. Theory means concepts behind concepts given in study material. Next, what if analysis while solving each problem? What if analysis? Whenever you try to solve a particular question, you have to think in a broad manner. You have to think. You will need to think in a broad manner. Suppose in that case, what will happen? आपको सोचना होगा कि अगर ये केस ऐसे होगा तो क्या करेंगे, ये अगर ऐसा हो गया तो क्या करेंगे. There may be n number of scenarios. Okay. Next, students should make their own note on the concept. Very right. Your own notes are very necessary. First, study thoroughly. Then make your own notes. Your own notes is best one. Suppose Mr. X is a student of CA final. He goes to Mr. Y and takes his notes for preparation in exam. Suppose similar type of question comes in exam. Do you know what will be the final result? He won't get full marks. Now, I will tell you why. At the time of study, when Y was doing his or her study, she filtered so many points written in study material. After that, Mr. X goes to exam and sit in exam, and he further filtered that points. It means he would be able to write only 40% of total content, total important content related to that particular question, because first content filtered at the level of Mr. Y, after that content again filtered at the level of Mr. X, and finally in exam it remains 40 out of 100. Therefore, it is very important to make your own notes. अपने notes बनाने बहुत जरूरी हैं, otherwise स्कोर करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा. Next, students should solve the problems on their own. How can I solve problems? Students normally do auditing of questions. They don't take pain to solve questions on notebook by pen or pencil. Nowadays, even they have also started to solve on tablet. I clearly say it is very necessary to solve questions independently on your notebook. Strictly avoid tablet or auditing of the questions. Simply auditing of figures. क्वेश्चंस की आपने ऑडिट नहीं करना है, क्वेश्चन को प्रॉपरली सॉल्व करना है. ऑडिट करने का मतलब जस्ट आई वॉश, यानी कि ऊपर से देखा कि ये क्वेश्चन तो हो जाएगा, फिगर को कैलकुलेटर में टोटल किया. डोंट डू टोटलिंग इन कैलकुलेटर्स. सिंपली you can do calculation in calculator, but only after proper writing in your notebooks. It is very helpful for examination purpose also. Next is make a target of solving 200 to 250 problems over a period of time. You have to do practice, practice and practice. More than 250 questions means you have covered a big area. you have to go through each concept by solving more than 200 or 250 problems. I hope you will be able to tackle any type of issues or problems. Further, you need to improve your speeds. In this particular exam, you have to take care of your speed. स्पीड को कैसे इंक्रीज किया जा सकता है? हाउ कैन आई इंक्रीज स्पीड? स्पीड can be increased by proper planning, by proper practice. If you have a good practice, then you can solve this paper easily within 3 hours. Right? Students, speed is necessary, but speed you will gain automatically, but it depends upon practice. Practice is key for success. Next point is answer should be to the point at the time of examination. Now the issue is how much I have to write in my exam. Suppose a particular question of case study is having two parts. First part requires you to assess external environment. Okay, in first part you have to assess external competitive environment. If you have to assess external competitive environment, it means the question is asking you to write about Porter's 5 forces, and this particular requirement is having worth of 12 marks. Now there are two students. One write full page for Porter's 5 forces. First point like bargaining power of buyer, bargaining power of supplier, etc. He writes full page on these powers, and ultimately he closes the solution within 2 or 3 pages, or he ends up in 3 pages by stating only 4 points. Mr. Y writes full 5 points in brief, with brief, but he writes full 5 points. which one will get better marks, Mr. X or Mr. Y? Surely Mr. Y will get better marks because he has written full points of Porter's 5 forces. But how much I have to write under these 5 points? If a particular question is having of 12 marks and you must have to give 5 points in solution, then divide 12 divided by 5, then divide 12 by 5. It means around 2.4. In that case, you have to give 2 or 3 points in each point. अगर सपोज कोई क्वेश्चन है, क्वेश्चन 12 मार्क्स का है और उसके अंदर 5 पॉइंट्स हैं, 5 स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट्स आपने देने हैं, तो कितना मुझे लिखना है इसका जजमेंट कैसे पता लगेगा? आप 12 को 5 से डिवाइड कीजिए तो उससे आपको आइडिया होगा कि हर एक पॉइंट की जो वर्थ है वो 2.4 पॉइंट्स की है। अगर 2.4 पॉइंट्स की एक पॉइंट की वर्थ है तो आपको उसके इक्विवेलेंट लिखना है, यानी कि एक या दो पॉइंट्स हर एक फेज के अंदर या हर एक पॉइंट के अंदर देने हैं। हर एक मेन पॉइंट के अंदर 2-2 पॉइंट या दो किसी में 3 आपने देने हैं, लेकिन जो कंपलसरी पॉइंट है उसको मिस नहीं करना। ओके, आंसर शुड बी टू द पॉइंट, बट again it depends upon the requirement of the question. In this given example, 5 phases, and second factor is number of marks, 12, number of marks 12 and phases 5. Okay, next, never miss an exam or mock test. Again, mock test is very important. It gives you idea about examination environment. Try to give mock examination in examination environment, and after this you will come to know about your performance. Next is avoid selective study. Whichever topic you left, I am sure there will be question in examination from that topic only. जो आप टॉपिक छोड़ोगे श्योरली क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में वहीं से आएगा. Even sometimes you get easier question from that particular topic. Therefore, don't try to avoid selective study. Do full study. Each and every line, even every word of the study material is very important. Now, refer study material, RTPs, suggested answers, case study digest. Sometimes students say, can I ignore case study digest? Again, I will say, if you ignore, you will get question from there. Therefore, each and every question of your study material, your RTPs, your mock test paper, your case study digest, even in questions given in capsules are very, very important. Therefore, please go ahead with ICI's content. Again, never skip any topic, even a small to small topic is very, very important. You may contact us anytime via phone, email, or mobile app. Examiner's comment. This is very important to refer examiner's comment. From this particular document, you will come to know the challenges or particular issues faced by students, or what they fail to write in the examination. Another important point is ignore rumors. Ignore rumors. In comprehensive study plan, we include initial planning stage, in-depth study stage, revision stage, and examination stage. Now we are in September. This is your in-depth study stage. In this stage, you have to revise your material, your resources at least 2 to 3 times. Sometimes students come to us and say, sir, we did study material, but again fail in exam because they didn't practice the resources at least 2 to 3 times. Therefore, this stage, this one minute. Therefore, this stage is very important. In deep study stage is very important. Here you have to practice at least 2 to 3 times and mark some important questions, some important notes, and this stage will be very useful at the time of revision and examination. At least this stage gives you idea about some important thoughts also. Now I will discuss with you reasons for securing low marks. First is lack of conceptual clarity. Yes. How can you improve your conceptual clarity? Your conceptual clarity will be improved so many times if you do more number of questions, if you do more practice. Sometimes answer of a question gives you the conceptual clarity. Sometimes solutions are very helpful to understand the basic concept behind this. Therefore, do more number and number. Second, skipping theory part. Students normally skip theory part. Don't skip theory part. In examination, you have to use, as I stated earlier, you have to link the theory, this theory with the text given in the question, and accordingly you have to draft the answer. Try to make theory as interesting. Try to learn, try to get it in interesting way, because as told by director ma'am, this subject takes you to the level of CEO. Whenever you are studying, you are solving any question, think from the mind of CEO. Imagine you are a CEO of a particular company or organization. Therefore, make it interesting while studying, whether any concept. Nowadays, environmental management accounting is very important concept. Again, think with CEO's perspective and link or correlate with concepts at international level concepts. Shortcut while practicing. Don't use auditing of questions. Ignoring study material. Study through your own study material and try to make your own notes. Try to make your own notes. Very important point in patient reading. It is very important to read question carefully in examination. Examination or otherwise, always read question carefully. Try to solve each question By assuming you are in exam, assume while solving each question, assume you are in exam. आपको assume करना पड़ेगा कि आप एग्जाम में कोई भी क्वेश्चन अगर सॉल्व करेंगे तो फोकस उसके ऊपर रखना है. This is key for success. If you have read question carefully, then half question is solved. You will gain control on that. Try to make brief structure on your sheet. Read, make notes, make some broad sketch about that question. It is very useful. Making a broad sketch of a question after or while reading is very important, because it will be the base of the solution drafted. It will be very useful, and it is very important. Try to start a new question from left page, because it will be very useful to use both pages, left and right, simultaneously. If you are writing on right, then your working note on left page will be very useful. In that case, it will be very easy to write solution. Sometimes going back, come again on same page, or going forward may make you in problem. That's why try to start from left page, so that you can use both left and right page simultaneously. Next point is very important: an inappropriate time management in exam. You have to manage your own time. Examinations 3 hours and 15 minutes are very important. In initial 5 or 7 minutes, you have to plan accordingly. If you select a wrong question, then it will waste your entire paper. Sometimes students select the question which is very difficult in the exam. That particular difficult question not only wastes or kill your time, but also helps you in scoring less instead of going up. Therefore, question selection is very important. Try to solve easiest question first. Few questions you can solve very easily. these may be very straightforward. Even you can solve them in the end also, because in the end you can't do complex calculation type questions. Therefore you have to plan your exam, your 3 hours. This is very, very important. Wrong selection of question, this is a key reason for securing poor marks in exam. Again, examiner's comments are very important. You have to go through with examiner's comment, and requirement part is very important, because from requirement part you come to know which verb you are going to apply. You have to apply which verb. क्वेश्चन पेपर की रीडिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अपना टाइम इस तरीके से आपने प्लान करना है, अपना 3 hours 15 minutes को, कि वो पेपर पूरा कंप्लीट हो जाए. अगर आपने बाय मिस्टेक रॉन्ग क्वेश्चन सेलेक्ट कर लिया तो वो आपका रॉन्ग क्वेश्चन जो है वो आपका पूरा का पूरा टाइम जो है वो उसको वेस्ट कर देगा. कई बार स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं, कहते हैं कि सर हमने सबसे पहले ये पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 लिया था, ये पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 लिया था. फॉर एग्जांपल, हो सकता है कि वो एग्जाम का सबसे टिपिकल क्वेश्चन हो, है ना. तो अगर आपने वो क्वेश्चन उठाया जो कि एग्जाम का सबसे टिपिकल क्वेश्चन है, तो वो क्वेश्चन ना तो खुद कंप्लीट होगा आपसे, और ना ही वो दूसरे क्वेश्चंस जो दूसरे इजी क्वेश्चंस हैं उनका भी टाइम आपका किल कर देगा पूरी तरीके से. तो इसलिए क्वेश्चंस को जो सिलेक्ट करना है काफी ढंग से सिलेक्ट करना है. क्वेश्चन की रिक्वायरमेंट जो है उसको ढंग से पढ़ना है कि क्वेश्चंस में पूछा गया है आपसे. जब आप क्वेश्चन को रीड करेंगे ना, तो उसका एक जब रीड करेंगे तो एक सबसे पहले तो क्वेश्चन को रीड करेंगे. तो रीड करेंगे तो आप सबसे पहले एक चीज को यह ध्यान रखिएगा कि आपके पास शीट के 2 पेजेस हैं, लेफ्ट और राइट. आप हमेशा लेफ्ट से स्टार्ट करें और राइट तक जाएं. उसका आपको बेनिफिट ये मिलेगा कि अगर आप राइट में हैं तो आप लेफ्ट में वर्किंग नोट बना सकते हैं, जिससे कि अगर बार बार आपको पेज नहीं पलटना पड़ेगा. और कई बार क्या होता है कि अगर आप पेज बार बार पलटते हैं तो उससे कंफ्यूजन होता है और अननेसेसरी कई बार मिस्टेक भी हो जाती है. तो इसलिए इसलिए आपने हमेशा लेफ्ट साइड से स्टार्ट करना है. ठीक है, अगर कोई छोटा क्वेश्चन है तो वो कर सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. लेकिन अगर 20-20 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है तो उसमें आपको बहुत फायदा मिलेगा, या 10 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है वहां पे भी आपको फायदा मिलेगा इसका. तो सबसे पहले क्वेश्चन पेपर को पढ़कर उसकी का एक जो ब्रॉडर स्केच है उसको रेडी कर लें. ठीक है, जब वो ब्रॉडर स्केच रेडी हो जाएगा तो वो आपको सॉल्यूशन ड्राफ्ट करने में बहुत ज्यादा हेल्प करेगा. और उसके अलावा कि क्वेश्चन की जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्वेश्चंस रिक्वायरमेंट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यू हैव टू टेक केयर, क्योंकि यहाँ पे वर्ब्स का यूज भी होगा. अब आपको पता लग जाएगा कि यहाँ पे कौन सी वर्ब यूज करनी है, कैलकुलेट करना है या आगे जाके इवेल्युएट करना है. और हाँ, यहाँ पे एक और इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि अगर आपको लगता है कि आपके कंक्लूजन का कोई की पॉइंट है, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था अभी जस्ट इन टाइम का थोड़ी देर पहले एग्जांपल दिया था, तो जस्ट इन टाइम के पॉइंट में मैंने बताया था कि आपके सप्लायर्स के साथ रिलेशन अच्छे होने चाहिए. तो ठीक है, सप्लायर्स रिलेशन वर्ड को अंडरलाइन कर दो. सामने वाले को तो समझाना है ना आपको, उनको समझ आना चाहिए ना। तो इसलिए आप उसको अंडरलाइन कर दो जो कीवर्ड्स हैं। जैसे मैंने बताया कि आपका जस्ट इन टाइम तभी सक्सेसफुली इंप्लीमेंट हो सकता है कि जब आपके पास ईडीआई है। और ईडीआई इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डाटा इंटरचेंज, अगर आप ईडीआई नहीं लिखते, आप ये लिखते हैं सैप है, अगर आप ये लिखते हैं कि कंप्यूटर है, अगर आप लिखते हैं आईटी है, तो सब एक ही तो बात है। लेकिन आप उसको अंडरलाइन कीजिए, अगर आप उसको अंडरलाइन करेंगे तो आप मार्क्स गेन करेंगे। Whenever you write a solution to any question, you should, I advise you to underline keywords or key rows. It will really help you. Now, case studies versus case scenario. The basic objective of a case study is to allow the students to apply idea and insight from theory to real life issues and problems. Case scenarios are, as opposed to case studies, are short cases written in more compact style. While an appealing narrative, the case scenarios focus is on covering more deep in a specific area. While case study provide the width and deep required for the holistic analysis based discussion, case scenario enable more in-depth analysis of a given managerial dilemma. अब how to write case studies answer, how to write case scenarios answer. केस स्टडी क्या है, केस सिनेरियो क्या है? Case studies allow the students to apply ideas from theory to real life issues. You have to apply the concepts learned. You have to apply the concepts learned in your learn through study material, practice, study material, case study, digest, RTPs, so on in your problems. जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपने स्टडी मटेरियल के अंदर पढ़े हैं वो सभी आपको अप्लाई करने होंगे केस स्टडी के अंदर. I just get a query. Sir, suppose in standard costing question, if we arrive at the answer wrong, but the formula and description part is correctly written, so that case any marks will be given or not in that question. This query is from Saurav Sarkar. Saurav, what do you mean by description part? At final level, there are more marks based on qualitative factors. It means high level verbs like analysis, evaluate, recommend, advise. Therefore, I don't think there won't be any marks for formulas. Okay. Case study is not about quantity but the quality. Here, quantity is not important. Again, I am saying to you, quantity is not important, but quality is very, very important. Before this, I have given you example of Porter's 5 forces. There I clearly told you quantity doesn't matter, quality matters. But you have to break particular solution to a particular question in number of points based upon marks and questions or models requirement. In that example, marks were 12 and phases were 5. 12 divided by 5. Accordingly, you have to write. Okay. Prepare a plan for each issue. Initially, you have to draw a brief sketch or आपको एक स्केच बनाना होगा. इनिशियली आपकी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, केस स्टडी क्या है, उसके बारे में. जैसे कोई क्वेश्चन आता है या कोई केस स्टडी आती है तो स्टार्टिंग के अंदर आपको उसका एक स्केच बनाना चाहिए. उस स्केच बनाने से क्या होगा, आपका उस क्वेश्चन या केस स्टडी के ऊपर पूरा कंट्रोल आ जाएगा. ओके, तो वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो देयरफॉर प्रिपेयर ए प्लान फॉर ईच इश्यू. इवन I will say you have to make a planning. You have to make proper planning for each question, each big question or case study. This will give you proper control over the question. Decide what models to use and prioritize the issues. कौन सा मॉडल यूज करना है या क्या इश्यूज हैं. तो ये कैसे होगा, you will get understanding what model we have to apply after studying proper case study. Next is identify the impact and alternative actions that could be taken as well as relevant concepts and calculation required. Again, this is very, very important to identify which models we have to use here. Sometimes there may be confusion in non-financial performance measurement models like Fisher Moon, Balanced Scorecard, Performance Prism. Sometimes, therefore, you have to take proper consideration which models we have to use in that case study or question. Sometimes question says to apply value chain, we apply, instead of that we apply competitive advantage theory or generic strategies. Therefore, it is very important to apply each models after careful consideration. Answer should have a logical flow. Your answer should have a logical flow. It means there must be proper connection between the first part, second part, and concluding part, so on. Have you seen in question there are 2, 3 or 4 requirements? Sometimes each particular requirement is connected with other. Similarly, you have to write solution in a manner that your solution will be balanced and connected with each one, and must have proper logical flow. In the end, you have to give concluding remarks. Sometimes students write, but they fail to give concluding remarks. Conclusion is very, very important. Conclusion is not so much important in level 1 verb. Conclusion is very, very important in high level verb, evaluate, recommend, or in advice. Therefore, while practicing, it is very necessary to judge how the answers have been given in the study material, how the answer have been drafted. Next, offer a detailed analysis of the issue and concluded with sound and well justified recommendations. Offer a detailed analysis of the issues and conclude with sound well justified recommendation. I have already told you that you have to give proper conclusion, sound conclusion, okay, with proper recommendations. Again, don't leave any of the issue undecided. आपको कोई भी इशू जो है वो अनडिसाइडेड नहीं छोड़ना है. आपको कोई भी इशू अनडिसाइडेड नहीं छोड़ना है. आपको कोशिश करनी है कि जो क्वेश्चन की रिक्वायरमेंट है उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपने सभी इश्यूज को रिजॉल्व कर दिया है. सिंपल वर्ड्स के अंदर मैं आप लोगों को ये कहना चाहूंगा कि क्वेश्चन या केस स्टडी की जो रिक्वायरमेंट है उसमें सबसे पहले आप उसका वर्ब देखो. वर्ब देखने के बाद अगर आपको लगे कि लेवल 1 का वर्ब है तो सीधा जो आपने याद किया है उसको केस स्टडी के साथ कनेक्ट करते हुए उसका आंसर लिख दो, आपको मार्क्स फुल मिलेंगे. और अगर की उसमें वर्ड्स हैं तो अंडरलाइन कर दो. लेवल 2 के अंदर है तो उसको कैलकुलेशन के बेस पर है वो डिसीजन, ठीक है. और लेवल 3 के अंदर है तो आपको क्वालिटेटिव स्किल्स यूज करने पड़ेंगे, ठीक है. क्वालिटेटिव स्किल्स तो यूज करोगे लेकिन वो तो नॉन फाइनेंशियल फैक्टर हो गया, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं फाइनेंशियल से भी कनेक्टेड होगा. तो यानी कि पूरी केस स्टडी के सॉल्यूशन में एक प्रॉपर फ्लो आना चाहिए ऊपर से नीचे तक. Next, do not place too much attention and time on presentation. आपको प्रेजेंटेशन पर ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना है, ओके. Naturally, if you spend too much time and attention on presentation, then you will waste lot of time. But it is very important to underline keywords. Okay, don't try to make a flow chart type. समटाइम स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं कि केस स्टडी के अंदर सोचते हैं कि चलो ऐसा है कि अगर कोई इवेल्युएट का डिसीजन है, इवेल्युएट का डिसीजन करने के लिए उसके अंदर क्या बना देते हैं, फ्लो चार्ट बना देते हैं. क्या बना देते हैं, फ्लो चार्ट. कोई फ्लो चार्ट नहीं बनाना आपने वहां पर जब तक वो कहेगा नहीं. ठीक है, कोई डायग्राम नहीं बनाना, क्योंकि अगर ये करोगे, प्रेजेंटेशन बनाओगे, ये वो एक्स्ट्रा की चीजें बनाओगे, आपको मार्क्स भी नहीं मिलेगा और आपके टाइम भी वेस्ट होगा. Don't try to make unnecessary graphics or charts unless or until have been asked in the question. Quality of discussion on each issue which is most important, not the ranking order. Quality of each discussion is very very important. मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था कि अगर कहीं पे भी कुछ डिस्कशन होगा, अगर कहीं भी कोई डिस्कशन होगा तो आपको आर्ग्यूमेंट करना होगा. आर्ग्यूमेंट करना होगा तो आर्ग्यूमेंट करने का मतलब क्या है कि अगर आप अगर सपोज हमें किसी ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग मेथड के बारे में डिस्कस करना है, कॉस्ट बेस्ड ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग मेथड के बारे में डिस्कस करना है, तो डिस्कस करने में हम क्या करेंगे, तो हम पहले कॉस्ट बेस्ड ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग के बारे में उसके मतलब उसका इन्फ्लुएंस केस सिनेरियो, केस स्टडी के रेफरेंस में लिखेंगे, लेकिन फिर हम उसको कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट करेंगे अदर मेथड्स के साथ, उसको आर्ग्यू करेंगे, उसको क्रॉस करेंगे. जो अभी बात पहले बोली है, ठीक है, ये बात तो ठीक है कि लेकिन ये मेथड जो है इस सिनेरियो में सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि रीजन ये है. इस तरीके से जरूरी नहीं है कि ये जो आर्ग्यूमेंट है जो आप काउंटर कर रहे हो उसको काफी आपने एक्स्ट्रा में लिखना है, लंबा लिखना है. 2 या 3 लाइन भी सफिशिएंट होंगी, लेकिन लिखने का एक मेथड होना चाहिए, एक वे होना चाहिए. ओके, डिस्कस ईच ऑफ द इश्यूज इन डीप एक्सप्लेनिंग देयर इंपैक्ट. ठीक है, कि हर एक इश्यू का क्या इंपैक्ट है आपको डिस्कस करना होगा इसके अंदर. रिकमेंडेशन शुड इंक्लूड व्हाट टू डू, व्हाई टू डू एंड हाउ टू डू इट. क्या करना है, क्यों करना है, कैसे करना है. ठीक है, ये रिकमेंडेशन होनी चाहिए. नेक्स्ट, रिकमेंडेशन शुड अपीयर एट द एंड ऑफ द रिपोर्ट. रिकमेंडेशन आपकी सबसे एंड में आनी चाहिए. रिकमेंडेशन कब आएगी, सबसे एंड में. अगेन, प्रैक्टिस मेक्स परफेक्ट. प्रैक्टिस मेक्स परफेक्ट. Next, identify ethical issues and then briefly justify. Here you have to identify ethical issues and you have to give justification. Nowadays, non-financial and ethical considerations are very very important. You have to take care of. Sometimes it may happen in exam, you may get similar type of question or case study you have already done in your notebook. Okay. Here I want to say you, each and every word of your question or case study is very important while drafting the solution. don't think this question is exactly same as you have already done in your notebook. Maybe that question you found in your study material, case study, so on. Because in these particular skill assessment based questions, decisions could have been changed due to change in slightly drafting of the question. अगर क्वेश्चन आपको लग रहा है कि एग्जाम में ये सिमिलर टाइप का क्वेश्चन है और ऐसा क्वेश्चन आपने नोटबुक में किया हुआ है, स्टडी मटेरियल में किया हुआ है, ये क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आ गया, तो आपने ब्लाइंडली उसको सॉल्व नहीं, वैसे ही सॉल्व नहीं कर देना है। एक बार उसको केयरफुली कंसिडर करना है, ठीक है, उसको ढंग से रीड करना है उस क्वेश्चन को। कई बार क्या होता है कि थोड़ा सा उस क्वेश्चन के अंदर या उस केस स्टडी में थोड़ा सा ट्विस्ट होता है और पता लगा कि वो उसके चक्कर में ही सारा सॉल्यूशन चेंज हो गया। सेम थिंग वाज हैपन in November 2020 exam. November 2020 exam was most similar, ditto similar to the question which have been given in the study material, but students fail to write the answer desired. Why? They thought the questions which were asked in the exam were ditto same, but there were some or minor changes in the questions. These changes made some changes in calculations, and the impact of calculations revolved the decisions. You may compare November 2020 exam with questions given in study material and suggested answers. उस पर्टिकुलर एग्जाम के अंदर क्या हुआ था कि स्टूडेंट्स सिमिलर टाइप का क्वेश्चन आने के बाद भी उसका आंसर गलत कर आए। गलत किस वजह से हुआ? क्योंकि वो क्वेश्चन लग तो ये रहा था हमें डिट्टो सेम है, लेकिन उसमें हल्का फुल्का सा चेंज था, तो वो चेंज की वजह से कैलकुलेशन में चेंज आया। कैलकुलेशन में चेंज आया तो नेचुरली डिसीजन तो चेंज होगा ही होगा। तो डिसीजन तो कभी भी सिमिलर आप लिख ही नहीं सकते। जितना सिनेरियो बनेंगे, जितना हल्का सा इंपैक्ट क्वेश्चन के अंदर कहीं आएगा तो डिसीजन अकॉर्डिंगली चेंज होगा। तो यानी कि उस क्वेश्चन पेपर को डिट्टो डिट्टो सेम हम नहीं कह सकते। जो क्वेश्चंस एग्जाम में, जो स्टडी मटेरियल में क्वेश्चंस हैं और जो क्वेश्चंस एग्जाम में पूछे गए थे, मैंने पहले आपको कहा कि वो सेम है, लेकिन वो क्वेश्चन सेम नहीं है। क्यों? हल्का सा क्वेश्चन के अंदर थोड़ा सा ट्विस्ट था, जिसकी वजह से कैलकुलेशन चेंज हुआ और कैलकुलेशन ने आपका फाइनल ड्राफ्टिंग को, जो डिसीजन मेकिंग था, उसको चेंज कर दिया। तो इसलिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि कोई भी क्वेश्चन आए उसकी जो ड्राफ्टिंग है, उसको, उसके सॉल्यूशन की जो ड्राफ्टिंग है वो आपको काफी केयरफुल तरीके से और काफी ध्यान से आपको करनी होगी। ओके, नाउ बेस्ट अप्रोच टू द एग्जाम। cover whole syllabus, be prepared to apply all this knowledge. You have to cover all syllabus comprehensively. Okay, read the requirement carefully and answer the requirement asked. And third, add value to the organization that is being advised. Always think from CEO's perspective and try to add value to the organization that is being advised. This is the best approach to exam. Now, I will let you know about strategic role of management accounting. This is very, very important. Whenever you write the solution of any question, you have to keep in mind strategic aspects. Now I will let you know about some strategic aspects that are very, very useful for the purpose of decision making. You have to correlate these strategic aspects with decision making questions. Then it will be very rewarding. External analysis. External analysis covers Porter's 5 forces model, value chain and firm's position, industry life cycle, industry critical success factors. आपके आरटीपी में और स्टडी मटेरियल में एक एक्सपोर्ट ऑर्डर डिसीजन मेकिंग का क्वेश्चन दिया हुआ है. उसके अंदर हम कुछ फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर्स को एक्सपोर्ट करने जा रहे हैं और उसके अंदर हमें डिसीजन मेकिंग करनी है. इन दैट क्वेश्चन वी आर गोइंग टू एक्सपोर्ट फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर्स. फॉर दैट we have to do decision making and we have to take we have to give advice to management whether we should go ahead with export order of fire extinguishers or not. In that particular question, by using relevant cost techniques, there was I think some benefit when we are using relevant costing concept. Based on that concepts, there were some monetary benefit to go ahead with this concept. But if you carefully see the solution, in solution we have given advice, and advice it has been written to consider pastel analysis. of that particular country where we are going for export, or to consider shipment date, etc. That particular external for external environment analysis, it is always better to use term pastel. ओके उस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन के अंदर क्या है कि आपको एक्सपोर्ट करना है, और एक्सपोर्ट करने के लिए जो रिलेवेंट कॉस्ट कॉन्सेप्ट के बेसिस पर आपको बेनिफिट है। लेकिन अगर आपको एडवाइस देनी है तो मैनेजमेंट को आप एडवाइस कैसे देंगे? अगर आप किसी कंट्री के अंदर अब्रोड जा ही नहीं सकते, अगर आपको वहाँ का उसका पॉलिटिकल इन्वायरमेंट, इकोनॉमिक पोजीशन, सोशल इन्वायरमेंट, टेक्नोलॉजिकल और इकोनॉमिकल पोजीशन उसकी करेक्ट ही नहीं है। अगर आप एग्जाम के अंदर जब एडवाइस दे रहे हैं, अगर एडवाइस के अंदर ये नहीं कि हमें पूरा पेस्टल एनालिसिस वहां पे लिखना है, हम खाली ये लिख देंगे, खाली पेस्टल वर्ड लिख देंगे, तो भी हमारे को मार्क्स अच्छे गेन हो जाएंगे। इट मींस वी हैव टू यूज स्ट्रेटेजिक मैनेजमेंट मॉडल्स और कॉन्सेप्ट्स इन ब्रीफ इन while drafting decisions. So that's why this paper is strategic cost management. Here strategy, here management accounting is linked with strategy. Therefore you have to use those concepts while drafting solution, while doing decision making. Okay, you can't do export if you have not done proper pastel analysis. Okay, for always for external environment, for external analysis, Porter's 5 forces. Okay, firm's value chain, industry life cycle, industry's critical success factor is very important. It is also very important to see the stage of industry. इंडस्ट्री किस स्टेज पर है? स्टार्ट में है, मैच्योरिटी में है, डिक्लाइन में है, ग्रोथ में है, किस पर है? अगर डिक्लाइनिंग स्टेज में है तो फिर आपको प्रोसीड करना तो बेनिफिशियल हो ही नहीं सकता। इसी तरीके से सक्सेस फैक्टर क्या है इंडस्ट्री के? क्रिटिकल सक्सेस फैक्टर क्या है? Here I want to give you an example. अगर आप किसी ऐसी कंट्री के अंदर एंटर होना चाह रहे हैं जहां पर काफी स्ट्रिक्ट फायर रिलेटेड नॉर्म्स हैं, इसी एग्जांपल को मैं लेता हूं। अगर आप किसी ऐसे कंट्री में एंटर होना चाह रहे हैं जहां पर काफी स्ट्रिक्ट फायर नॉर्म्स हैं और प्रॉपर ऑडिट्स, प्रॉपर रूल और रेगुलेशंस हैं, तो वो आपके लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा ऐसे कंट्री में एंटर करना। तो इसलिए ये कुछ कभी भी डिसीजन मेकिंग करें तो कभी भी हमें डिसीजन मेकिंग करना है, whenever we want to do decision making, we have to do external analysis, and whenever we need to do external analysis, we have to carefully consider pastel value analysis, industry life cycle, as well as industry critical success factors. Next, internal analysis. That was external analysis. Now internal analysis. Internal analysis cover understanding stakeholders needs. stakeholders needs. Okay. Stakeholder needs relates to your performance prism. Assessing performance, balanced scorecard, benchmarking. BCG product matrix, competitive advantage and generic strategy, profitability analysis, customer, product, etc. Internal analysis covers understanding stakeholders' needs, assessing current performance, balanced scorecard, benchmarking. BCG product matrix, competitive advantage and generic strategy, profitability analysis, customers, products, etc. Here I want to give you example of balanced scorecard. Balanced scorecard covers 4 perspectives: financial, second customer, internal, learning and innovation. Okay. Financial perspective includes, it belongs to maximize shareholders return. For that, KPIs would be percentage increase in ROI, percentage increase in inflows, etc. But financial perspective depends upon customers perspective. फाइनेंशियल किसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है? कस्टमर्स पर्सपेक्टिव पर. बिकॉज प्रॉफिट is linked with sales and sales generated through customers. If customers are satisfied, they will give you more sale, and more sales means more profit. More profit means better cash flows. Better cash flows means better valuation. All are connected, but customer will be satisfied only when customer gets proper services. And customer will get proper services if we have proper system, proper internal system. Okay, and this internal perspective depends upon learning and innovation. It depends upon learning and innovation. And learning and innovation covers innovative ideas, number of new product develop, etc. ये मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल से समझाना चाहूँगा. सपोज कोई एक कंपनी है जो कि प्रोडक्ट की जैसे कार्ड की डिलीवरी, क्रेडिट कार्ड की डिलीवरी, या कोरियर कंपनी है. सपोज कोरियर कंपनी का मैं एग्जांपल लेता हूँ और वो कोरियर कंपनी लिस्टेड है. ठीक है, तो अब कोरियर कंपनी के शेयर होल्डर्स को क्या चाहिए? लिस्टेड कंपनी के शेयर होल्डर्स को क्या चाहिए? हाई डिविडेंड या हायर वैल्यूएशन. हायर वैल्यूएशन के लिए चाहिए क्या? कि सेल इंक्रीज हो. सेल कैसे इंक्रीज होगी? हाउ सेल विल इंक्रीज? सेल विल इंक्रीज होगी कि नंबर ऑफ कस्टमर्स बढ़ेंगे. नंबर ऑफ कस्टमर्स कब बढ़ेंगे? जब कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन बढ़ेगा. कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन, कस्टमर्स कब सेटिस्फाइड होंगे? जब उनको customer will satisfied only when they will get on time delivery. Here it is very important factor. Here it is very important KPI, percentage items delivered on time. Customer, here it is very important. Financial perspective is related with customer's perspective. Okay, and then customer's perspective is on time related with internal perspective. But how I will make on time delivery, how I will do on time delivery fast. Okay, for that हमने उनको सपोज सम ऑटोमेटेड डिवाइसेस प्रोवाइड कर दिए और व्हीकल प्रोवाइड कर दिए, सो ऑन. तो इस तरीके से तो ये इंटरनल पर्सपेक्टिव में आएगा. ठीक है, और उस डिवाइसेस से रिलेटेड ट्रेनिंग रिलेटेड टू द डिवाइस अलॉटेड टू द स्टाफ is related to learning and growth. It means all four perspectives are interconnected. Okay, this is balanced scorecard. It means this why I have given you example of balanced scorecard here, because it relates to internal. Similarly, stakeholders needs relate to internal. Competitive advantage and generic strategy, simply low cost strategy or differentiation or focus. Low cost, differentiation or focus. Again, all these three items are internal. Okay, I hope you know about competitive advantage and generic strategies. Okay, for example, AirAsia, Malaysia use low cost strategy, Malaysian Airlines uses differentiation strategy, and Southwest Airlines uses focus strategy. Focus may be low cost or differentiation, but for a particular segment. Okay, and profitability analysis is also part of internal analysis. These R models are interconnected. Okay, now product, service and market development. These external analysis, environmental analysis, internal. Now, the conclusion of external and internal environment analysis is strategic options. Strategic options covers product and market development or diversification. External and internal environments conclusion is strategic option. When we do external analysis or internal analysis, then it provides gateway for strategic options, where strategic options are product development, market development or diversification. For this phase in management accounting, we try to calculate value. by forecasting revenue. But here we have to consider ethical issues. Ethical issues are very, very important. For example, child labor. Nowadays, child labor issues is very important, is specifically in African countries. We have to carefully consider our supply chain. Therefore, ethical issues are very, very important. After when we decide which product we want to make or in which market we want to go, we have to carefully evaluate whether we are getting proper value or we are able to do proper innovations. Further, we also estimate our costing and revenue purpose, or simultaneously we have to carefully consider ethical issues. After that we have to evaluate. What we have to evaluate the decision making in previous step, that is either product development, either market development, or either diversification. It covers to evaluate whether it linked with our organization's vision, mission, and goals. This is relates to your chapter 1. In each and every question, some facts may require you to evaluate, but these facts may again depend upon organization's vision, mission, or goals. Next is product, service, or critical success factor. Product, service, or critical success factor. And next is cost benefit analysis and risk assessment. Whenever we do selection and evaluation, definitely we do some cost benefit analysis. Okay, but a product development approach or a market development approach will again fail if it is not aligned with your organization's goals, objectives. Therefore, you have to properly consider organization's vision, mission, and goal. After this, we have to do implementation. And for implementation, performance measurement models are very, very important. For implementation. For implementation, these models are very important. Performance measurement models like Fitzer-Moon model, balanced scorecard, or performance pyramid, performance prism, or other financial models like ROI, RI, EVA gives you holistic approach to measure the decision taken based on the evaluation done in previous step. That's why these models are very, very important, and these models have been covered in your chapter number 7. This chapter is very, very important. And while again I am saying, while drafting the solution of the question, again you have to take care of strategic issues or this strategic diagram in your mind. That's why I am explaining to you. It is not a strategic management paper. It is management accounting, but since it is a strategic cost management, that's why I am giving you some connectivity idea with strategic management concepts. Next is control through budget and variance analysis. Variance analysis is for implementation. The scheme will again fail if it scheme will again fail if it doesn't consider management issues. Okay, therefore, while doing control through budgets, it is very important to consider various behavioral aspects. For example, top-down approach, bottom approach, difficulties in setting budget nowadays beyond budgeting is also become very important, and variance analysis is also very important. This is a traditional costing approach. In Kaizen, against Kaizen, in Kaizen we do variance analysis at incremental stage at very short interval. In in standard costing, we do variance analysis at a particular interval, but variance analysis is very important for implementation of a proposal. But again, all scheme will clearly fail if our KPIs are not linked with CSFs, critical success factor. Key performance indicators are not linked with critical success factor, and critical success factor is not linked with organization objectives or goal, and goal is not linked with mission or vision of the organization. Therefore, again, while drafting the solution related to KPI CSF, you need to consider organization's mission, vision, value, and objectives. Or finally, performance reports are very important, and it covers integrated reporting, GRI reporting, and triple bottom line reporting. Although GRI reporting and integrated reporting is not part of your study material, but it is very important, and triple bottom line is covered in the study material. That's why this is very important model which covers people, profit, and planet. This is the entire background about linking of strategic cost management and performance evaluation subject with the strategic aspects. I explain you this concept because I want to let you know about the background behind the subject. Again, I am saying wherever you are drafting the solution of a particular question, always keep in mind these concepts given. These approaches I have already told you. Students, if you have any doubt, you may ask a query. Tomorrow, I will let you know chapter wise preparation plan as well as some key issues faced by students while drafting solution in examination. And further, if you have any doubt, you may write me at deepak.gupta@ica.in or scm-final p5@ici.in, or you may raise query at mobile app. Thank you for attending the session.